Professor V.R. Gurjar, our Director and Patron, Alumni Association, our retirees, Dean Academic and Research, Professor Hertz, our alumni. A very good morning to all of you. I welcome with great honor and pleasure to all of you to this auspicious occasion of our Institute's 11th Alumni Meet. Our institute has established a tradition to stay with their contacts. Well, continuing the tradition, our college has again organized this alumni meet today. I know the time does not stop for anyone and it takes a lot of time to take some time out of your busy schedule, and I thank you for that. Now, we are privileged to have with us our worthy director, Professor V.R. Gurjar, today with us, whose actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more and become more. I may be permitted to give a brief introduction about his accomplishments, academic achievements and his chosen field. Professor Bolaram Gurjar holds a PhD in the area of environmental risk analysis from India's premier technological institution, IIT Delhi, followed by postdoctoral research on air pollution and its local to regional to global impact at Max Planck Institute in Mainz, Germany. He is on loan from IIT Roorkee, where he has been a professor HEG of Environmental Engineering in Civil Engineering Department and a joint faculty in Center of Excellence for Transportation System. At IIT Roorkee, he has also served as Interim Director of DRDO Industry Academia, Center of Excellence, Dean of Resources and Alumni Affairs, Head of Center for Transportation Systems, and Head of the Max Planck Partner Group for Megacities and Global Change. He is on the Board of Directors of IIT Roorkee Development Foundation. Professor Gurjar has more than 32-year progressive professional experience in industry, teaching, training, research and consultancy. He is among the leading academicians and researchers who have worked extensively in the domain of urban, megacity emissions, air quality, health risk assessment, climate change and environmental sustainability related issues of scientific as well as policy nature. This is reflected in his several international collaborations, highly cited research papers, books, patents, featured articles and editorship of international journals. He has also developed two popular NPTEL online courses, that is MOOCs, namely Sustainable Transportation System and Air Pollution and Control. As a member, he is serving in several national committees of high importance. Under the Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission on Teachers and Teaching Scheme of Government of India, he has undergone the Leadership for Academician program, which is known as LEAP, a flagship leadership program training program organized by IIT Bombay. In recognition of his outstanding contribution in the environmental related fields, Professor Gurjar has received several awards and honors. The list is so long that I can continue on and on. But I know that all of us are eager to listen to his words of wisdom. So without further delay, may I request our Honorable Director, Professor V.R. Gurjar, to give his inaugural address. So would you like to come here?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Thakur, and dear colleagues and alumni present in person as well as associated through online mode from around the country. You might have heard that I have been Dean of Alumni Affairs in IIT Roorkee, so I know a bit about alumni affairs. Though in our particular institute, this alumni network may not be so strong as IITs have basically, but nevertheless, you can always think of new things, how to associate with the institute, because the relationship with the alma mater is like mother and child. You never stop being related to that particular institute where you got some sort of education, whether it is UG, PG or even PhD. Whatever way you are associated with an institute, that impression you carry on throughout your life. So wherever you contribute in the society through your professional contributions, the reflection will be from the institute where you got your education and degrees. So when we are children, we get the joy of receiving things. Always we seek something from our parents, then we feel motivated to do something, right? But after certain age, when we gain maturity or You also know about different psychological needs of the human beings, that at a certain stage, we get joy out of giving, and that is the contribution from alumni side we start to make. So you might have heard in IITs, many alumni have contributed some new schools, new departments, new buildings, scholarships, awards, funds, so many things. But means that is one part of contribution in monetary terms. The contribution may be in different forms, maybe in intellectual form, or you get associated and contribute in some programs. Whatever new things you have learned, you want to make in our institute in that form some contribution. So whatever way you want to contribute, please feel free to approach this Nitttr Chandigarh and try to add value in the institute where you got your education. As technology grows, science grows, new things emerges out of old things, new areas of specialization emerges. So new programs may be visualized. Maybe you came across some new programs. Please share with us so that short-term courses can be designed around those kind of ideas. So contributions may be of n number and n types. So think creatively and innovatively and get associated with the institute. And please make sure that the association or relationship with the institute is mutually fruitful. Don't expect that you all only need something from the institute. I have seen many alumni just from that I get this benefit or that benefit, but it should be reciprocal. You should also contribute something, that this is the new thing I want to give to the institute. Let us make this idea work in the form of new programs. Or if you have, means I don't know, means depending upon your ventures, depending upon your professions, if you want to contribute in other forms also, like some scholarships or awards, then that is also fine. Means you can initiate some award on the name of your parents, your beloved ones. So that is the way to be immortal. We all are mortals, we come and go after some time. Nobody is permanent on this planet. Immortality comes with virtues, with contributions in terms of great deeds. And one of the form, when you get associated with the institute, because institutes are immortals. IIT Roorkee, 175-year-old. So we grow in terms of several institutions of the society, of the government. So if you get associated with the institute, that name carries. So that is an immortal kind of thing. If you have started some scholarship, some award or some scheme, and that name is with the institute will remain. People will come and go. We are temporary. We play our role and then we say bye bye. Another person comes, they also contribute. This series goes on. So our role is temporary, but institute is permanent, and with that permanency, if you want to associate it with some sort of scheme, some sort of contributions which can carry on with the institute, then that is the immortality. So that is also one way. Means I have seen in our institute, people came and with great schemes, great donations, and they became part of that legacy. So long institute will be there, their name will be there. That is the point. And whatever ideas you have, please feel free. No idea is bad idea. It may be workable or it may not be workable at that particular moment. It may have time in future. Sometimes ideas come before the time. But as it is said that some ideas whose time has come, nobody can stop it. So those kind of ideas we can take up, we can initiate new things, and we can build up our capacity. We can enhance our domain expertise, whatever skills we provide to our stakeholders. So in that form, please try to contribute to the institute and be associated continuously. With these words, I wish you all the best and thank you very much for getting associated with the institute. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir, for endowing us with your words of wisdom and experience. I'm sure that your inspiring words have really inspired our alumni. As you very rightly said, that the contribution may not be monetary, it can be in many forms, and I'm sure that our alumni who are strength will greatly be inspired by you. Now it's time for all of us to introduce ourselves. So I request all our alumni who are connected with us in online mode and offline mode to kindly introduce yourself. So, ma'am, should we start with those who are present here? Okay. So let us first start with our alumni who are present here to kindly introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Aman Kumar, and I am from 2020 batch, regular batch. I am in electrical engineering.
Hello everyone, myself Phyllis. I am from Shivla, and I am doing an electrical masters in engineering.
Good morning everyone. My name is Jagriti Saini. I have done my master's degree in the batch 15-17, and after that I continued my PhD from this institute, and I completed that in the tenure of 2018 and 22. After that I am running my own firm with the name Eternal Reason, and I am working for the welfare of students with that.
Ashish.
Good morning everyone. My name is Ashish Mahajan. I am working in the electrical engineering department. I did my ME in modular instrumentation control in the 2010 batch, and currently I am working in the electrical department.
My name is Jyoti PM. I am working as senior technical assistant in civil engineering department. Belong to ME modular 2006 batch. So as far as we are concerned, we had a very diverse group during that time, right from south of India to north, and we had even students from Andaman and Nicobar Islands. And then one more peculiarity was there, that is we were all in the same age group except one or two. So all of them were like-minded people, and so as Professor Gurja was saying, I am continuously working in this institute, giving back to the system and taking care of highway engineering, environmental engineering and computer application lab of civil engineering department.
Good morning everybody, my name is Kamaldeep. I did my Masters of Engineering from Computer Science and Engineering Department from 2013 to 15, and then my doctorate in 2016 which is submitted, and currently I am working as Senior Production Assistant in the Department of Media Engineering, and I had this great opportunity to work under Dr. Nitttr. So we had a couple of projects. As far as our doctorate project was concerned, that was also being funded by a ministry that was securing billions of things, and we had great 6 to 7 SCI publications, and recently we got one paper published in IEEE IoT Journal which has an impact factor of 11. So it was a fruitful journey, and this institute has given me a lot of things. So I'm really thankful to all the faculty members, Rama sir that has been sitting here, Mala ma'am, and the directors also. Thank you so much.
Good morning everyone, my name is Manisha Malik, and currently I am Senior Visualizer in the Department of Media Engineering. I have done my Masters of Engineering in CSC in 2013 batch, as well as PhD also in the year 2016. I have also submitted my PhD research work, and my supervisor was Dr. Nitttr.
Good morning everyone. I am Aluvendra Singh Taliban. I completed my PhD in 2016 from this institute as ECE student under Dr. Professor S.S. Patnaik, and presently I am working as associate professor in ECE department.
Hi everyone, I am Meenakshi Sood. I did my masters from this institute from 2006 batch in Department of Electronics and Communication. And as Jyoti said, we were very like-minded, and we had a really diverse group of students in our group. And now also we are connected, and as myself, I have come back again to serve my environment.
Good morning, I am Paramjit Tulsi. I retired as a professor from Education and Education Management Department in 2020, and still continuing my association, delivering lectures in the various programs organized by the institute.
Good morning, I am Christian. I did my PhD from Electrical Department of this institute, and I am certified.
Myself Ajay Godara, and I am running my own startup with the name of Innovate Skill, and I did my masters from the Nitttr Chandigarh, and then after that I took initiative of the startup Nitttr onwards.
Any other present here?
I am Lini Matthew. I did my PhD from this institute. So this institute, I am an alumni of this institute. I am working in this institute from 1986. Personally, I am professor in the electrical department.
So I'm also an alumni here. I did my PhD under Electrical Engineering Department and under the guidance of Professor S. Chatterjee. And I joined Nitttr family in 2006, and it's been a beautiful journey of almost 17 years here. To the online participants, I request.
Mukesh has joined. Mukesh, you can introduce yourself. Yeah. Please come back.
Good morning. Myself Mukesh Kumar. I am passed out from here 2016, 14 to 16 in electronics and communication. Right now I am working in BS in Panchkula. Earlier I was working in BM Bangalore. Right now I am working in Panchkula.
So I request all the online participants to kindly raise your hands so that will enable us to call you one by one. I can see Mr. Vipin Mishra has already raised your hand. Mr. Vipin, can you please unmute yourself and introduce yourself?
Am I audible?
Yes.
Good morning, ma'am, and thank you for being here. It was a pleasure to being a Nitttr student. So I joined here in 2015 and completed my master's in 2018. Currently, I am working in ISS Gate Academy, Bangalore, and it was a pleasure working under you, ma'am.
Thank you.
So I am ready to contribute in whatever way I can contribute to my Nitttr family. So in future, to really need anything from my side, I am ready to. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Vipin. Ms. Swati Sharma.
Yes, ma'am. First of all, a very good morning to everyone. My name is Swati Sharma. I did my master's from Instrumentation Control branch from Nitttr, Chandigarh. First of all, I just want to thank you, my teachers, Dr. Ridla ma'am, Dr. Shimi ma'am, Dr. Lini ma'am. These all teachers are very wonderful teachers. They always try to help us in every way because I'm from a modeler background. So at that time, I was a teacher in engineering college. And
Swati, we can't hear you. I think your connection has been disconnected. Swati, are you there?
We can go to Krishna.
Yeah, your connection actually it is getting disconnected.
okay, not particular.
Yes. You can turn off your video in case there's an issue to be back with. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, now I'm audible.
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. A very good morning, everyone. My name is Swati. I am a model student of Instrumentation Control branch from Nitttr, Chandigarh. First of all, I just want to thank you to all my teachers from Electrical Engineering department as well as from other departments also. Like Dr. Ridla ma'am, Dr. Lini ma'am, and Dr. Shimi ma'am. These all teachers are very supportive. They always help us to regain ourselves, and they always help us because I'm from modeler background and in projects and in every field, like in our thesis work, these teachers always try to help us in each and every way. We can enhance our teaching skills by growing or updating our academics. Today I am working as an assistant professor in electrical engineering department in Shimla. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us this type of opportunity because today I am here only because of Nitttr Chandigarh. Because Nitttr Chandigarh always try to help teachers in their enhancing their skills. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Swati. Mr. Vivek Srivastav. Mr. Vivek,
Good morning, ma'am.
good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. May I enter, ma'am?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Vivek Srivastava and joined later in 2017 ME Electrical Instrumentation and Control 2017 model of life. I am an industrial professional working in instrumentation and control and duty manager. And being an instrumentation professional in private industries is very tough doing post graduation. And I am very thankful to Nitttr for providing the opportunity and all the faculty members who are supporting. I have done thesis under the guidance of Dr. Poonam ma'am and Leeni ma'am and Rishma ma'am. We are also seeing all the faculty teachers are very supportive and very cooperative with me and always guide me if there be any problem. So thank you very much. Thank you everyone from Nitttr.
Thank you, Vivek. Can we have other alumni also? Can you kindly raise your hand? Mr. Manoj Sharma. Yes, Mr. Manoj Sharma.
Very good morning to all of you, respected faculties. I am a student from the batch of 2008 in EC. I'm sincerely thankful to my faculties, particularly the guide at the time, Madam Mahmasani, as and other faculties. After that, I completed my PhD from Alumni University in Interior Design under creating was from my PhD, and presently I am working as a joint director for engineering services in design aeronautical quality assurance services. In due course of time, I could get opportunity to be an activity also, and it was very nice to see that things that institution is doing very good in academics and in other activities, research oriented things, and working the interviews, the surrounding engineers. So my input is there that can it be possible that we can make one dynamic types of database of the people who have been the students of that DPTR and their present capabilities, and that that types of knowledge sharings in the things what is happening in that DPTR. If some course is happening and some direct it is put, okay, somebody want to come voluntarily able to deliver some lecture or to contribute some things. So this can be one way. What we are contributing to an DPTR, this is one thing. And in another way, wherever something is happening in our field, which are from the industrial related things, that's how we can put some, these are the capabilities of the faculties and these are the projects and how those capabilities can be used. So bringing the basic, if we compare the model of academic institution and industry in India with a foreign countries, it differs a lot. If we go on some university websites of some Europe or US, there is some practical things, practical courses are there, and they realistic courses. The students are able to clear work and they do and submit their work. But honestly speaking, when we have got the industrial trainings in India, it just happens for the quality last process, something is happening and some reports are preparing. This is the practical thing is happening. So my input is that whether we can really, although it is not so easy, it is difficult because industries have got their own pressure over and getting student, but till some extent, to bringing up to working on the real things and practically which can contribute to the industry and vice versa for the research. So this is some things that the course is given, and since I am located in Shimla, I am available here, and so it will my great privilege and happiness if there is something I can do for my institutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Manoj Sharma. We had the privilege of meeting you when we went to Bell also, and you have given a very nice suggestion. In fact, at NITTR we have this endeavor of including our previous students, our alumni, in the board of studies also. So it would be really nice if alumni like you who are in industry can come forward and be a part of a board of studies so that you can also help us in framing our ME curriculum. Thank you so much. We look forward to your suggestions. Thank you. Next, can we move towards Mr. Krishan Kumar? Mr. Krishan Kumar.
Yes, good morning, everybody. My respected staff. Myself, Dr. Krishna Kumar Ranga. I am the student at Nitttr in 2007 in motor batch, and I am presently working as assistant professor in Group Jamreshwar Institute of Science and Technology, ISA. I am very thankful to my teachers and leaders who guided me time to time. I am really thankful to all of you, and thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Miss Rashmi? Miss Rashmi Patange?
First of all, good morning to everyone. I am Rashmi Patange. I have done my ME in Electrical Engineering Department of regular batch 2020 and 2022. First of all, I want to thank this great institute and feel happy to be a student of this institute. And still doing my I'm working as a faculty teaching in a local engineering college. For that, I want to thank this great institute and my electrical engineering department student teachers. Thank you.
Thank you, Rashmi. Mr. Vanraj?
Hello, good morning everyone. I'm Dr. Vanraj. I'm an alumni of Connect year. I did my PhD from 2013 to 17 under the guidance of Dr. Professor S. Dhami and Dr. Sawla. Currently, I am working as a consultant for pharmaceutical industry located in Karnal. I am also associated with Nitttr for the research purpose, and I am very thankful for Nitttr for providing me the opportunity to pursue my PhD in the field of machine learning. And I am thankful to all of my guides. I would like to support, as Dr. Thakur said, that there is a board of
studies.
Studies, yes. So I would like to be a part of that also. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Can I request our other alumni to kindly raise your hand so that we can come to you one by one? There are many other alumni who are connected with us.
Dr. Madan को कह दे. Dr. Jatinder Madan.
Dr. Jatinder. Dr. Jatinder Madan. Yes, sir. Can you kindly introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I did my master's from Nitttr in manufacturing systems engineering in the year 1999, and I have been working as a faculty member earlier at Slide Tongwal in mechanical engineering department, and now I am professor and head of the mechanical engineering department at Chandigarh College of Engineering and Technology, Eleventh, which is just adjoining Nitttr. So that's about me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Manoj Kumar. Mr. Kumar Manoj. Yes, anyone else? There are a lot of other alumni who are connected with us. Mr. Rohit Kumar. Okay, we can continue then.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Manoj Kumar, please introduce yourself.
Yes, madam. Yes, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. I am Kumar Manoj from Government Women's Polytechnic, Jamshedpur, Jharkhand. I completed my MA in Manufacturing Technology under guidance of Dr. S.S. Banwal sir, and I am thankful to my guide and all the mechanical faculty and other members there who helped me in completing my MA. And I am thankful to all the present students doing their work. But also I would like to say that I am not able to contribute right now anything, but in future I would like to contribute in some way to the institute. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. Preeti Gupta. Ms. Preeti Gupta.
Hello, good morning, I am myself Preeti Gupta. I have done my MTech in 2013 from Nitttr and 16 in modern batch, and after that I have done my PhD from 2016. And presently I am working in Eleventh as an engineer in CNC system, working with the Nitttr project. So, but now I want to say that I can also contribute to there is a program such as industry as well as technical program. So I can contribute in that. So if it's possible, so in future if there is a chance to get something happens, then I will be helpful to get and I am helpful to do this for the habitat also. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Preeti. Mr. Rohit had, I think, Mr. Rohit, you want to speak something? Somebody is raising. Yeah, Dr. Sandeep Verma.
Hello.
Yeah, Dr. Sandeep Verma.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. A very good morning to all, and thank you for this opportunity to connect to Nitttr online mode. Well, right now, as my profile, I have done my MTech in regular course in the year 2013. I'm 2013 passed out, and in Electronics and Communication Department. I have done my currently I am working as an research associate in IIT Kharagpur in the last year, and before that I have completed my PhD from NIT Delhi, Punjab. And as far as my this MCM is in Nitttr is concerned, I'm really grateful to my supervisor, Dr. Anjay Sharma. She has supervised me for my master's thesis, and since then I'm connected to her, and she has been guiding me in each and every aspect of as far as my learning is concerned, or as far as my project work, because I'm still working on the same project of Sensing Network. So I still take guidance from her, and she's always there to support me. So I'm really thankful to her, and I'm thankful to all the organizers for making it possible to connect to these gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Sandeep Verma. Mr. Rohit is not able to unmute yourself. Kaman, can you please help him?
I've asked him to rejoin, ma'am. Sudesh Kumar.
Okay. Sudesh Kumar. Mr. Sudesh Kumar, can you please unmute yourself? Mr. Sudesh Kumar. In the meanwhile, anyone else who wants to introduce yourself?
Very good morning, Dr. Ritula is there?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
So, this is Dr. K.C. Lachwani, Assistant Professor in the Department of Applied Science, and I am working here since the January.
Dr. Lachwani, I think there is some issue with your internet. We are not able to hear you. Your connection, I think your voice is disrupting. Can you please repeat again what you said?
Okay. So, myself, Dr. K.C. Lachwani, Kailash Chandra Lachwani, from the Department of Applied Science, and I am working here as an assistant professor in the applied math.
Sir, if you can switch off your video, I think that will increase the bandwidth. Yes. So, Dr. Lachwani, in case you are in the institute, you can come to the boardroom. We would like to hear you in person here.
Okay, then I go.
Yeah. Some new alumni, they have joined. I request you to kindly raise your hand one by one so that we can call you. Those who have just joined. Mr. Amritesh Ojha. He's not able to unmute. आप भी नहीं कर पा रहे. Mr. Rohit, we are also not able to unmute you. So if you want to write, you can write in the chat box. We will be reading your message. Yes, Mr. Amritesh Ojha.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Yeah, please speak. Mr. Ojha, please introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Amritesh Ojha. I was as the student of 2014 to 16 AME regular batch, passed out from the NIT Chandigarh. And right now I am working in a merit-based engineering college as assistant professor in electronics and communication department. And simultaneously I am also pursuing my PhD in part-time from NIT Patna.
Okay, thank you. Mr.
Thank you,
Shivaji.
ma'am, for giving me time.
Thank you so much. Mr. Shivaji Karar. Mr. Shivaji Karar.
Good morning, all.
Good morning.
Myself, Shivaji Karat. I am working as a lecturer in Alumni Technological University, Maharashtra. And I am a student of ME 2009-11 batch, as well as I am pursuing my PhD under the guidance of Nitttr, and just submitted my thesis to the Punjab University, Chandigarh. So it has been a long association with the Electrical Engineering Department as well as Nitttr Chandigarh, whether it will be in ME or PhD or also in the various FDPs. So it is always wonderful to interact with the Nitttr as well as the Electrical Engineering Department as well as the whole Nitttr family. So it has been a wonderful experience to study in Nitttr as well as pursue the PhD study also with respect to the various infrastructure provided for the research there. So thank you all and for this wonderful alumni meet.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wants to speak?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
I am audible.
Yes, Rohit, we are audible. You are audible now.
Good morning. Thank you, Nitttr, for the opportunity to join us with. I am in the Nitttr student 2016 to 2018 ME regular batch. Okay, but I feel a very good experience in Nitttr. The just only जो मैं actually बस एक ही problem से hard होता है जो मैं society में सुनता हूँ Nitttr MTech regular जो है time पे complete नहीं होता है. बस मेरा first batch था जो बिल्कुल time पे within 2 years complete किया. मैंने जब Nitttr join किया था उससे पहले एक experience था कि faculty ने उससे बोला कि आप MTech join कर रहे हो. But आप within 4 years या 5 years का MTech complete कर पाओगे. But I see that within 2 years I have completed my MTech from Nitttr Chandigarh. और ये थोड़ा सोसाइटी में हमारे इसका बैड इम्पैक्ट Nitttr के नाम का है. So we should be focused on this area कि हम अपना MTech ME लेवल स्टूडेंट्स को फोकस करना पड़ेगा, स्टूडेंट्स को वर्क करना पड़ेगा वहाँ पे कि विदिन टाइम विदिन पेशेंस वो कंप्लीट करें अपना, क्योंकि ये इससे बैड इम्पैक्ट आता है हमारा और इसी से हमारे क्वालिटी इमेज खराब होता है. Just is my experience with it. I am saying to, but it's a good opportunity in comparison to NIT. Biology में NIT दिल्ली के better और NIT से भी better facility हमारे Nitttr में है. But हमारे students पे use करना है हमको. Main चीज ये है कि हम students कैसे use करें. Students के Nitttr और students के कैसे utilize करें. कैसे वो actually क्या focus environment जो कि उसको center बना students उस पर focus कर रहे हैं उसको ना कि higher education के लिए. So ये students की तरफ से ही problems है वहाँ पे. तो this is my experience, but having a good facility, Dr. Senior sir, Dr. Nitttr Thakur, Dr. Sir, Dr. Eleventh, ये मुझे इतना अच्छा experience मिला और फिर अच्छी knowledge मिली वहाँ से. Then I achieved in IIT and reached a higher rank in IIT दिल्ली के यहाँ पे मुझे काफी अच्छे research facility मिली और Nitttr के नाम से जाने लोग. But थोड़ा सा impact impact वही है कि उसी से मुझे society मेरे सुनता हुआ hard होता है मुझे इस चीज़ को लेकर.
So to those who are present here, I would like to tell you that recently I had a chance of meeting Mr. Rohit Kumar in an IEEE conference in Maldives. I was really proud to know that he has already done 6 transaction papers while doing his PhD. So we are really proud of students like you, Rohit. Keep it up, and definitely I think the students who are doing their ME here will be inspired with your words that they will be doing their ME in time. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, then we can continue with our interaction further. For that, I would like to invite Professor Poonam Syal, who is the chairperson of Alumni Activities, for the interactive session on future roadmaps for the next 5 years.
Respected Director, Professor B.R. Gurjar, Professor Pavla, our former colleagues, Professor Tulsi, Professor Anand, Professor Sani, Professor Nitttr Datta, Dean Academics and Research and Development, and all my dear alumni and faculty members. A very good morning to all. On this occasion of Alumni Meet for strengthening our network with alumni and getting benefit of their expertise and rich experience, this session for preparing the future roadmap for the coming 5 years is being organized. In the present era, there are paradigm shifts in all fronts, especially in the field of education. New Education Policy 2020, National Skills Qualification Framework, outcome-based education, globalization, evolving information and communication technology, and online education, which is changing our education system. So in the light of present dynamic environment in context with the education system and its delivery modality through deployment of ICT as well as the latest trends in education technology, we need to brainstorm for future roadmap for the next 5 years and alumni contribution for the development of our institute. So I call upon alumni to express their valuable viewpoints in this direction. So maybe we can start from our alumni who are present here in the boardroom. So I call upon anyone who would like to speak. Yes, Jagruti.
Good morning once again. So before I suggest something for the future roadmap, I would like to talk about my journey with this institute that inspired me to do so many things further. So I started my master's degree from this institute in 2015 in Electronics and Communication Engineering department. And at that time we were lucky to have Dr. Nitttr as our HOD in that department. And she inspired us to do so many progressive things. We can say that the practical part that we got exposed to at that time was especially the effort of Dr. Nitttr because most of our batches at that time were more influenced toward the theoretical part only. But ma'am introduced us to the practical things and introduced us to so many projects. And from my batch itself, several students visited different IITs with their robotics projects and many other projects. So that was an outstanding experience for us. And that also inspired us to do something new with that hardware as well as with the collaboration into new softwares and technologies such as ML and AI, etc. I also completed my master thesis under the guidance of Matthew Latana. So in that I worked on epilepsy disease detection, and it was definitely my first exposure to a research area at that time, and my ma'am guided me very well so that I could publish a SCI paper in my master degree itself, and with the reviews as well as with the result oriented paper. So continuing that practice, because I found it very interesting to go ahead with research area only, I decided to do my PhD also under the guidance of Dr. Nitttr Datta, and I continued that in year 2018. And with the continuous exposure that I had in Nitttr itself, I could score as a gold medalist in my master degree from Punjab University, and that also helped me to get Inspired Fellowship from DST itself to continue my PhD. And that was definitely a great support for me to do my higher studies with the fellowship. And during my PhD, I worked on indoor air pollution management. I did so many hardware-based installations in urban and rural areas. I got some readings for 1.5 years. And based on that, I did some analysis and I developed some models for the prediction itself. And ma'am supported me to get collaboration from other countries also to pursue my that research work, and that helped me to progress in that work very well. So I had a continuous exploration from some researchers in Europe as well as few different countries. One continuous association we had during my research work was from Portugal. one assistant professor who was already working in this area, air pollution management. We worked together, and during my PhD itself, we could publish 10 SCI papers, including some systematic literature reviews, some result-oriented papers, as well as some comprehensive reviews. So that was definitely a great journey for me. And after completing my PhD, I also got calls from Europe to join as a team member over there, because I was working with so many abroad-based research projects at that time on this air quality management system. But what my experience was that I have done most of my education on fellowship, and I had a great support from this government, I must say. So it was my time to return something to the country as well as to the education system that supported me throughout my journey. Based on that, what I decided is I decided to run my own firm where I could help students to pursue their dreams. If they are stuck somewhere, if they are not finding right guidance to pursue their research, so I try to guide them with the best possible experience that I have in this field, or I try to connect them to best people that we can find for the research areas. And I'm running it from past 1.5 years. Right after completing my PhD, I started my work, and I have received a great support from this institution. I must say that whatever I am today, it is just because of the institution support I had. Even during my PhD work, for the hardware-based purchase as well as for the demonstration, everything, I got support from the project that Makri ma'am was going through, and it was AICT funded project, and through which I could buy different types of sensors, I could install them in different areas, and it was a great exposure for me to work with the hardware, because several people feel that doing a hardware-based thing in PhD, it is a complex thing. We have to deal with so many field issues, we have to deal with so many complexities over there. But for me, it was really an outstanding experience. I could do so many out of that. And during my PhD also, I exposed to the data science-based practices, and I found it very interesting for me. So after completing my PhD, I started it with the Purdue University, USA, to continue as a PG program on data science and business analytics, so that I can go through these different technologies that are having great power these days. So I'm almost about to complete that course right now, and there are different modules. Only one module is left, all the others I have done. So based on all these experiences, currently I'm working as a resource person with several organizations, and I provide trainings on different Python programming, data science related projects. But other than this, the main idea behind me working as an firm owner over here is that I could provide assistance to researchers mainly, because I have seen a very different type of journey in India with researchers in comparison to what I have during my interaction with the people who are working in other countries. So for that, what I'm planning from many years is, and I have also talked to my guide about that why not it is possible that we can create a hub, a research hub in this organization, where some eminent professors from the institute itself can become the founder members, and I would also like to be a volunteer in that, where we can, one thing is that we can support our researchers. First idea is that we can guide them throughout the journey wherever they are stuck, because one thing is that many researchers find it difficult to ask very minute level questions from their guide, maybe due to schedule what they have or whatever reasons may be there, but the direct questions they do not find it easier to ask from their guide. But I think if we have a research hub where maybe some volunteers are connected, some existing researchers are connected, they can ask their minute queries also very confidently if they are stuck anywhere. And instead of doing same mistakes year after year in research and not contributing something to the society, if we get a direction, if we get a streamlined approach, we can definitely contribute something good in the society. So in that research hub, we can also plan, like we can have contribution from other organizations. Maybe we can take research projects from some health institutes like PGI, etc. And collaboratively we can work on some new objectives over there. And we can also collaborate with some other organizations that are working on some bigger projects on research, so that even our researchers can get better opportunities on projects as well as for exposure in research. So those ideas I have worked through several times, and I think ma'am may proceed with that, because from past several months I am talking to ma'am about that how if we can pursue with this idea and we can take it outside our institute also to help other researchers who are facing some issues in our country. So that would be my contribution also, that I can volunteer in that task and we can continue with that further. So thank you so much everyone here who has contributed in my journey. I am very much thankful to this institute for making me whatever I am today, and I look forward to so many opportunities over here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jagriti, for sharing your wonderful journey with us, and also for highlighting your perspective with respect to what future roadmap we can take in direction of research and development. So anyone else from our alumni from here would like to speak?
So I think I should introduce myself because there were some issues in the online mode, so I have come here. Myself, Dr. K.C. Lakshmani, Assistant Professor in the subject of Applied Mathematics and the Department of Applied Sciences. I have joined this institute in January 2015 on the same post, and before that, this institute I have worked in Government Engineering College Bikaner on the same post. So it is a very good institute, and we are doing wonderful things in the area of training and research, and the new areas are also coming for the training purpose as well as the research purpose. So my observation is that it is good institute, except at some point of time we are feeling the administrative encroachment in the academic and research, so that we can mitigate these things. Rest of the things, as our new researchers have already discussed, and we will work on that. So this was my point of view for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lakshmani. Anyone who would like to speak? I request Professor Anand, you have sent me mail also that you would like to put forth your points during this meeting.
I just wanted that, my name is Y.K. Anand. I have been a professor here for a long time and retired in 2012. After that, I got 5 years more as a extension and completed my stay here up to 2017. And I have been coming in various departments delivering talks. Although I am familiar with what is happening all around, but what I feel is that the faculty who is working here and who are well aware of what is the actual situation in the country as regards the education is concerned, and what is their interaction with the various authorities, tell them that this is the vision which we should have in future. That will be the good thing that if we come to know. The persons who are retired and who get an idea from the environment or literature what is happening probably will not be able to give a direction to this. Because what I am finding is the system has become complex now. Education system has become complex, and in that there are many players who are working now and they are competing. And in that compelling environment and competitive environment, we have to think about our vision and mission in a new way. And based on vision and mission, we will have to think about what can be the structures and systems work in this organization. Departments will not individually work as it is. We will have to have interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary department so that we can contribute to the challenges faced by the education in the country. We have got many strengths which are there. For example, NEP 2020 implementation. We have designed the 1986 NEP. We implemented it, provided extension to the states in implementation, evaluated it also, and give the impacts also. Our faculty was associated. So what I am saying is, we can identify the strengths which are there, and we can think of how we can reorganize our things so that the change, the compelling vision and mission which are there, how can we contribute to that? I would like to say only this. Thank you.
Professor Sani, you would like to say something?
Can I come over and
And
yeah?
sir, most welcome.
One of the advantage of speaking from there is nobody can stop you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It has been little more than 4 years since I retired from this institute. 31st January 2019 I superannuated, and I continue to be keeping track of what exactly is happening here in the institute. We have also seen almost on an average every 5 to 10 years the institute is reviewed, and when it comes to reviewing the institute or secretary holding a meeting in New Delhi, so we are many a time questioned. You were established way back in 1967. Are you still relevant? Or the kind of objectives which you had before you, have those objectives been met? Are you still relevant? Are you required in present context? So this is something, I as a person who worked here for 34 plus years, it really pains when somebody questions your existence. So it's in this context today I am going to speak about, and if I have to do that, I think so I need to throw light on what is it we were created for, what is it we are doing, and what is it which probably we should be doing in days to come, so that nobody questions your existence. Okay? So ladies and gentlemen, you would be aware we were established in 1967. At that time, in fact, the 4 TTTIs, Technical Teacher Training Institutes, were established, and the basic idea was to cater to the quality improvement aspects of technician education system, which was nothing but only the polytechnic system. And for that matter, research and development, instructional material development, then education and training program, providing extension services to polytechnics. So these were curriculum development. So these were 5 effective vehicles so as to achieve the objectives. And all the 4 Nitttrs continued doing that. In fact, if you talk of 1960s, you would remember that was the time technical education system had not developed much, and people having completed their diploma, they used to join polytechnic as faculty. So at that time, offering A, B and C 3 type of diplomas, I don't want to go in detail of that. So the 4 Nitttr, they used to offer diploma in technical teaching. Now this diploma in technical teaching, it continued to be relevant so long as faculty was joining with the diploma qualification. But you all are aware of, think of 1970s, there was glut of engineers in the country, and during 1970s, so degree holder and postgraduate degree holder, they started joining as faculty in polytechnic and engineering colleges. As a result of that, your diploma became totally redundant. Your diploma, degree holder would never ever go for diploma. So slowly and slowly, these diplomas, they become redundant, and then Nitttrs again started searching for some space. And Nitttr Chandigarh at that time, probably they considered it as an opportunity, and Nitttr Chandigarh got into higher technical education. That's how we started 6 PG program in engineering and technology in a phased manner during 1990s. Your degree holder would definitely like to go for postgraduate degree holder would like to go for PhD, and for that matter, we seized the opportunity and continued offering this program. Of course, in between there were some hitches. 2003, I remember, ministry asked us not to offer PG programs. So for about 2 years we were not offering long-term programs, and then again we revived. We got going with modular ME program, which you all are familiar with. I don't want to go in nitty-gritty of that. And modular program became in fact very effective. And there was a time when we used to have almost 400 to 600 PG program students here in Nitttr, which even IITs can't think of. We continued doing that, but then thereafter, ever since the economy was thrown open during 1990s, and we started feeling impact of that liberalization, privatization and globalization in first decade and second decade of the current ongoing century. So as a result of liberalization, a lot of private investment came in technical education, and there was a mushroom growth of technical education. Earlier there were very few seats for ME and PhD, particularly for teaching faculty, but countrywide so many colleges they started offering it, and slowly Nittr's PG program again started losing its charm. And now we are at a crossroad. We are not getting much candidates in our PG program, and at the same time ministry again keeps on questioning us. You are not an engineering college. Why should you be offering PG program? Why should you be offering PhD programs? So that ministry always keeps on contradicting, and many a time we do get scolding also for this thing, getting into higher technical education. Anyway, now again I suppose ministry has put some restrictions, and some of the ME programs they have been done away with. But the question arises, now what do we do? Okay. So I would like to suggest some of the areas where I feel probably we should make some intervention. And also I feel, Nitttr Chandigarh is in its 56th year of existence now. Now 56 years is a long time, and in 56 years we should have demonstrated and established our core competencies. Something which helps us in defending before the minister or the secretary, this is what we exist for. Unfortunately, maybe we have that expertise, but the capabilities of the institute and the faculty, they have not been demonstrated, and they have not been registered with in the mind of secretary and the minister. That's why we face this question. I think so. I will give you one example so as to help you internalize this concept of core competencies. Core competencies are something which cannot be so easily copied by anybody, and you earn it after a lot of experience. Take for example, I will take my own example. 1999, subsequent to passing of Person with Disability Act by the Parliament, so all systems in the government, they were expected to take care of the person with disability. Nobody in this institute, including myself, nobody ever knew anything about persons with disability and their education and training and employment, their empowerment. A working group was constituted here. Dr. Tulsi was member of it. I was there, Dr. Anand, Dr. Vats. So that working group continued working for about 2 years, and thereafter the scheme took off. The scheme was known as Mainstreaming Person with Disability in Technical and Vocational Education in the country, for which 50 polytechnics were identified, supernumerary seats 25 each in each polytechnic they were created, and we were also supposed to provide non-formal skill training to persons with disability. So from year 2001, the project was assigned to me, independent charge, in addition to my present duties. And because of some reason, maybe partly because of my own, the kind of situation I was living in, I took a lot of interest in that activity. And I had told the then director, उस टाइम में प्रिंसिपल होते थे, प्रोफेसर कृष्णा मूर्ति, मैंने उनको बोला कि I will devote 90% of my time to my mainstream. I was at that time assistant professor in entrepreneurship, and 10% time will go in disability sector. And funding is no problem. We'll mobilize funding. उसके लिए आपको इंस्टीट्यूट को कोई कुछ खर्च करना नहीं है. Anyway, we got funding from the ministry. We continued working in it. Well, I only had ideas. I took support of all of you. And ultimately what happened? As a result of hard work or deep insight into that area, it was in year 2013 the institute was declared the best institution in the country for the cause of person with disability, and we were honored by the President of India in Vigyan Bhavan, and institute got the President Award and a cash prize of 2 lakh rupees. That was just a recognition of work which we did, and nobody in the country can question कि वो हमारी activity कोई irrelevant थी, right? And I had the opportunity of even nurturing the other scheme of community development through polytechnics, which was started in 1986, continued, in fact in paper it still exists, otherwise it has been more or less given up. So that scheme I took over way back in 2003, and I nurtured that scheme for about 15 years. In between, because of a lot of litigation, lot of other administrative reasons, scheme was withdrawn. But there again we demonstrated our insight into the scheme and the benefit which were accruing to the society at large. Professor Poonam Syal would remember both Madam Syal and myself when the scheme was withdrawn, and there was a lot of commotion within the country. Almost 10,000 people got unemployed. They were earlier working as trainer. We prepared a country report and presented the report to the Union Minister continuously for 1 hour in the room of Madam Purandeswari, who was MOS at that time, MOS education. And the result was, she was so much impressed, she came all the way from Delhi, spent 1 full day here in Nitttr on 18th of May 2008. And having seen what we were doing, she then promised, I am going to talk to Prime Minister Manmohan Singh ji, and rest assured the scheme is going to be relaunched. We worked for it. Just to cut the long story short, Ministry had so much of faith in our capability कि उन्होंने हमें ही बोल दिया कि okay, you prepare the roadmap for this thing, which we did, and ultimately a budget of 728.65 crore was sanctioned, whatever we had proposed, as it is. 5 साल के लिए वो budget भी approve हो गया. So what I feel is, this is the kind of insight, this is kind of core competencies which each one of us really need to develop in our given area. Now I cannot comment upon engineering. I don't know ABC of engineering. I don't know what would be the core competency if you really go deep into it. But if you can demonstrate, if you can establish your core competencies and you can justify your existence, then nobody is going to question. This is what is really required to be done. Now a few specific areas where I would like Institute should take some action in days to come. In the area of education and training, what we need to do, evolve national policy on pre-service and in-service training policy for the technical teachers in the country. Having evolved this policy, present this policy to the minister or to the secretary, convince them that this is what is required to be done. Having done that, getting this policy accepted at the national level should be the third point. Having got it accepted, convince all states and all union territories, Directorate of Technical Education, you need to carve out budget for implementation of this training policy, and it's going to be a precondition for getting into technical education. And time to time, of course, refresher training program for the faculty. Then next, requesting state and central government for making budgetary provision. Then next, collaborating with IITs or IIMs or maybe equivalent institute for jointly offering and certifying the programs offered under the proposed policy. And next one is, when such like programs they become popular, maybe on such program becoming popular within the country, the effort may be made to offer such program in underdeveloped and developed country as well. This is about education and training. Now as regards research, which is, in fact this word research was added in 2003, and we should be doing a lot of research in the area of technical education. It really pains when you look around and you find hundreds and hundreds of engineering college technical institutions getting closed every year. That's the trend nowadays. I think we wouldn't have faced this kind of situation had there been, policy-based planning. Had somebody guided government of India, this is what you should be doing. Unnecessarily andhadhund mushroom growth of technical education, that's what has really put us in this problem. Were there any empirical evidences of going for such a huge expansion of technical education? एक चीज मैं आपके सामने एक बताना चाहता हूँ. Just think of American economy. American economy is of the size of 24 trillion US dollar. Ours 3.5 trillion. We are just 1/7 of that. When you talk of engineering manpower, America trains almost 2 lakh engineers and we have capacity to train 16 lakh engineers every year. Is there any match in this thing? Somebody should have pointed it out and guided the government. You don't go for such a massive expansion. What is it you are going to do with these engineers? And then we keep on blaming our engineers are useless, our management graduates are useless. That's what is happening in so many fields. So, I am of the strong opinion, the 4 Nittrs together, they need to join hand together. They need to establish a center for policy research in technical education. They need to guide the government and they need to help them in coming out with viable educational and training policies. Okay. A few other areas when we talk of research and development. Last 3 years we have been passing through this pandemic. Okay. As a result of that, easy mode online teaching. That's what has been started. Can we undertake a study with emphasizing effectiveness of online teaching mode in technical education? Second project would be effectiveness of hybrid mode. Now we are switching to hybrid mode. Effectiveness of hybrid mode of teaching in technical education. Third could be effectiveness of distance mode on teaching learning. Then NBA, almost 20-30% programs are now covered under NBA. What has been the impact of NBA on the quality of technical education, on the employability of technical manpower? Similarly, we can take study pertaining to impact of NET on technical education. Quality versus quantity in technical education. Okay, could be yet another project. Then policy research in technical education. Capacity building in private versus public funded technical institutions. There was a time when 80% capacity was in the hands of the government. Now it is the reverse. 80% in private and 20% in government. Where is it really taking the country to? So then impact of compulsory internship policy of AICT. Well, policy has been formulated. It was in 2019. I was one of the members of that policy evolving committee. So policy is there, portal is there. Is it really effective? To what extent people are making benefit of it? Somebody need to undertake research and guide the government. Then role of apprenticeship training in ensuring employment to technically trained persons is another project. Then parameters of excellence in technical education and strategies for transformation of ordinary institute into an excellent institute. How do we experience, how do we facilitate that transition? This is what is really required to be done. Well, with regard to curriculum development, I would like to share with you today. People say we live in a VUCA world. VUCA. VUCA stands for, today's world is highly volatile, highly uncertain, highly complex and highly ambiguous. That's how the term VUCA has been evolved. So we are living in this VUCA world where we find information and communication technology is playing very important role, and as a result of that, the life of the products has become very short. In fact, product development has become very, very fast. You remember there was a time when launching a new car used to take quite a few years. But today each company is launching number of new models every year. Okay? What does it mean to us as academicians? If that kind of things are happening, so we need to be really alert, and the kind of changes which are taking place, they need to be immediately incorporated in the curriculum. सो ये जो करिकुलम डेवलपमेंट का काम है, आई थिंक इट नीड टू बी टेकन अप on a massive scale, and this is something which has to be continued on continuous basis, both whether you talk of curriculum development or curriculum review, that has to go on very fast. Lastly, I would like to say the two flagship scheme of Government of India, this PWD scheme and also the community development scheme. Many of you would remember when we had that NBA meeting, okay? I was present there and many of you were present there. The committee commented upon that this institute has a very strong community face, and that was because of PWD scheme and CDTP scheme. पर कहते हैं unfortunately problem is कि हम आपको इसके नंबर नहीं दे सकते, otherwise कहीं अगर provision होता तो we would have very liberally rewarded you, okay? So the kind of community face which we had earlier, unfortunately that face is gone now, and I would be very happy if we can still get this scheme revived. So thank you very much. I have taken a little more time, but then this is something I was speaking from my heart and I felt what I feel. So maybe I can express it to my colleague, and maybe one or two of these ideas you may like to pick up and you may like to take them forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Sani, for sharing your valuable suggestions and also the journey of our institute since our inception from 1967 till date. So your suggestions have been noted and we'll further work upon it, definitely. I will request now Ma'am Professor Tulsi to please put
Thank you
forth
so much. I think he has gone in quite details about the changes which are needed. I won't say, because being a part of the system, if you really reflect back what we have achieved and what we need to do, the problems have been known to each and every individual within the institute. I think all of us are aware of the barriers that have been there in implementing successfully the four major activities: the education, training, research and development, and curriculum development, and extension and consultancy. Now what I feel is just 3 to 4 points which I have in mind. First thing, when the country is moving towards accreditation and each technical institution is required to be accredited programs, then I think so many private players have come into the picture, where they are assisting the institutions to prepare themselves for accreditation. So this is one area which each department should take up, assist the institutions in getting accreditation for the programs which are being implemented by them. That will be a great service to the technical institutions. And secondly, when we look at the training policy which has been provided by the Government of India for the technical teachers, and each teacher need to undergo those 8 modules, then go for industrial training, then work under the supervision of the mentor. Now what is needed at each faculty is facing a problem here. First thing, because it's an online program, people prepare themselves for the examination. They are not bothered about studying the material and then understanding that. Not. The purpose is just to complete the module and appear in the end term examination, and that is also multiple choice questions which are given to them. So I would say, if we can create a support for the teachers, maybe each module, we are offering 3 modules from this institute, and the rest of the modules are offered by other institutes. So what we can plan as a 4 institute is that we can conduct some program in face-to-face mode, so as to orient the teachers about those content modules, so that they understand and then they take up. Otherwise, these modules will not serve the purpose for the technical teachers. Then third thing which I find in the MOOCs program is, though we have produced number of other MOOCs also, and so much is available on Nitttr or AICT or another CEC, then those relevant courses need to be identified, where we can offer a blended kind of training to our teachers with respect to the areas which are emerging. So if we can use the materials which are available, then we have some 1 week training at institute. So they can go through the material, see the video and come here with certain action plan or maybe a project which they have accomplished on the basis of that. And that will be where you can see the implementation of those programs. Then all these MOOCs based programs, the institutions are facing a problem with respect to the mentorship. So mentor orientation training program, which used to be a regular feature for 2 years to 3 years, I find that over the period of time, this maybe 1 year, not many MOTPs have been conducted by the institutions, all 4 meters. So what is happening, the students, the teachers who are completing 8 modules, they are not able to register under the supervision of mentor. That's another difficulty. So what we can do is Nitttr can be facilitative in this process, making the institution to register for the training policy, and then they can designate mentors, and then those mentors can have the training. Otherwise, again, that scheme is going to be a failure. Then in the area of what Dr. Saini has said, I fully agree that when we are offering a MOOCs program, why can't we use it in our ME programs? ME is being offered, certain material is already available. So a blended kind of teaching learning can take place in those cases. And then in the research area, this MOOC is one where he has already given the details about the studies which can be taken up. Effectiveness of MOOCs could be one, or online training could be one, or you can think of. But I would say as a training institution where I felt that we were lacking, and we tried that we took some action research projects at the institute. So each faculty, because we are offering SDCs, so participants are regularly coming for the program. So can we try some innovative strategies for training teachers and then take up research? So you don't have to put in extra effort for research also, but that will be providing the feedback to still improve upon the quality of training. That is where we can make a dent. And the idea which was initially when I joined the institute in 90s, it was that a quality improvement program was taken up. So the similar kind of experiment can go on, like adopting 1 or 2 technical institutions in the region and providing them all the support that is needed to improve the quality of teaching, learning and evaluation. So much, I think these areas have been highlighted over a period of time by many. But still I feel that somewhere we all know that the action is required on our part. As teachers, we need to be more committed and passionate about improving the quality of our training and research. That is where I feel these are the suggestions which maybe, if you think it's proper, can be taken care of.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your points have been well noted. Thank you so much. Anyone else who would like to say?
So, ma'am, I would like that some of our faculty who are present here, who has been interacting with the ministry, interacting with inter-TTIs, they should also give some idea what is their perspective and what are they thinking about the future of this institution and the projects we should undertake. Unless we are aware of that, it will not be right to just think about what has happened in past and what we should do, because the system is changing very fast. AI, cloud computing, everything is coming in all the fields. Distance education is there, isn't it? In that scenario, and we cannot confine to India, we will have to go abroad also, interact with them and bring the things, and all private institutions are doing. So we have to be knowledgeable ki what is happening at the present, what does ministry is thinking about, what are the other TTIs thinking about, then only we can think about our 5-year plan.
So just on this note, I would say there are many faculty members here who are actually contributing. and they've made a dent as far as their specializations are concerned.
Yes, sir.
Let those members act as mentors for others and involve them in their research projects and encourage them to participate. That will be also useful for the institute.
Oh, very good afternoon to all of you. Being one of the oldest person in this nature now.
Not oldest, experienced, knowledgeable.
Experienced person. What I feel is that our role in Nitttr is what I normally say is what to teach and how to teach, both. There will be many people who will be able to teach what to teach or tell you what to teach, but how to teach is a different story which we only know here, or we know better than others. But what has happened here is that we have isolated these two things. What to teach, I say I am a core mechanical engineer, so I will teach only mechanical engineering. Education department has been doing how to teach. They have been telling how to set a question paper, how to evaluate it, how to teach students, but we have never implemented. So we need to integrate these two things. For what to teach, we have a curriculum development, especially for polytechnics, we do design the curricula. For that, we need to be updated with technological developments. Because final aim is how to make these students employable or entrepreneurs. If we do not know what is going to come, I think that we are not doing the justice with the design of the curriculum. So once you have designed the curriculum, let there be something will go obsolete and let's delete this. There is resistance from the polytechnics or difficulty that my subject should not be deleted. Probably they think that they will lose their jobs. That has happened. So, but let us not worry about that. Let us see what is the requirement of the diploma programs, what should be taught. Then integrate it with the how to teach. The situation has changed as was Sami, was Anand and was Tulsi and so on. The teaching requirements have changed. Methods, approaches have changed. And many of teachers, including our teachers, we do not know how to integrate all those techniques into our teaching practices. I think we should develop modules. For long I've been telling that we should develop programs on subject-based pedagogy. That we are not doing. How to teach strength of materials, so that teachers, the students understand. So we will need to do something in India. That is my feeling. Third aspect is quality. Madam also said there is a lot of stress on NIRF rankings, accreditation. If you read the AICT approval process handbook, now there is some weightage at least given to the accreditation process. They say if you are accredited, you don't have to go for extension of approval for 3 years. Earlier there was nothing like that. So people will go for it. Let's work on this, both this thing, NBA and NAC. Maybe the more agencies will come under NEP. Let's teach the polytechnics about polytechnics and engineering colleges about the aspects of NEP in the coming years, because NEP has just started and we need to integrate it into the system. How the curriculum design will differ from the earlier curriculum design, because NEP says interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary. NEP says research, it says innovation. How to build in the system itself. Even there are basic things like ABC, people are not going. Let's do something on that. And how to implement the system. You see, reading, I can also read, anybody else can also read that what is ABC. But how to implement it? What are the implications of implementing? What are the problems they are going to face? For that we have to study the system in detail. Research, both systemic research as well as in core engineering, we will be going for it. many people have been opposing core engineering research, but I think we should not leave that because institute name will come from research, systemic research as well as the core engineering research. So there are few areas. So one more very important area, if we can tackle that, is assessment and evaluation. It is poor everywhere. So if we can do something on that, this technical education system, for that matter, any other system will improve. We are not serious about assessment and evaluation. If we can make a system for assessment and evaluation, I think that will be a great service to the technical education and other education systems. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Picking up one point from Professor Pavla's remark, see, he talked about what to teach and how to teach. Having worked and having seen the way we work here in this institute, and also having visited the other Nitttr, I visited Bhopal, Calcutta and Chennai number of times. What I found, there is one difference. Here in Nitttr, Chandigarh, we have a very sort of watertight compartmentalization of activities. And this thing, educational pedagogy is something which is considered to be the domain of education and educational management department. When I interacted with faculty in Bhopal and Chennai, what I found, almost all faculty members, they are all fully trained in educational technology. And that's what ensures what to teach and how to teach. So I think
that used to be the policy when Professor Kulkarni was the principal of ETTI, and he tried to involve each and every faculty member in the area of biology. And that was where we had a very extensive courses run for the faculty of this institute. In the area and we were all involved in that, and we learned a lot from each other. Now, even education department cannot work in isolation, because he has rightly said, unless and until you give examples from the engineering field, it is not relevant to the teacher. So you need to learn those subjects, or you need to involve people from the core areas to support you. Otherwise, it is not successful.
We used to sit in their classes. And we used to take classes in their program, but that is gone.
Yes. But so many times faculty from engineering education department, they involve us. Like Professor Sunil Dutt sir, he has invited me many times for his STCs, and I take up like examples from my ME subject and I give it to the faculty. So I think that has to be done. It has to be done like
नहीं
this.
मैडम, यहाँ हमारी जो faculty है
हाँ,
ना,
वो
since
सारी
we are in
training.
teacher training, each one of us need to be fully trained in educational technology. So that's something which is lacking. और कोई भी जो भी एजुकेशनल ट्रेनिंग, जो भी प्रोग्राम आएंगे, इंडक्शन ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम, वो invariably most of such like programs they are conducted by education.
Like induction training program, we have started offering online. So my humble request is that because it is a teacher who is less than 5 years of experience, and induction should be face to face, because that grilling is required at this level, rather than just offering online program where 50% of them would attend and 50% will not attend. So you can provide a rigorous kind of training in the induction training program. Maybe the core engineering and education, they can collaborate. Some of the sessions by the faculty from other disciplines. That is
I would like to say one point. Although we have talked about teaching and how to teach and all these things, but one of the strengths which we were having and which was the weakness of our system was fulfilled in Professor Chandigarh. He was proactive. Whatever is coming in the world, he will pick up and train the people for managing that. He used to guide the secretaries. He used to guide the minister. And whatever their problem was there, he was used to bring that problem here, and he was giving the solution of that problem to the ministry. For example, country is facing, all universities are facing the problem of how to make a national credit framework and 4-year degree program. Nobody is I have been going to the universities also and talking to them also, because curriculum development and assessment system, credit system is not their area, because nobody has been trained in that. So thereby they find a lot of difficulty how to go about it. So if Professor Kulkarni, sorry for saying, professor is there, he will go to the ministry, give his responsibility to us. We will, instead of Professor Kalsi coming and talking to the universities and people telling about our resource system, will go everywhere and talk to the people, what is this national credit framework, what is this technical and education, how to prepare the curriculum which is NSQF aligned, which fulfills the requirement of NBA and NAC, and how it is sequenced properly and it fulfills the requirements. So what I am saying is, in addition to improving the system as regards the implementation, as Professor Sani, Tulsi and Pavla has said, we will have to think of what is coming in the world. We have to take proactive action, go to the ministry, go to the AICT, go to UGC. We are here as a resource system, and we have got the capable people here who can, spread the message all over India. If we do that, it will give credibility to each and every member of the faculty that here is an expert who can talk on technical and vocational education. Here is an expert who can talk on NEP, all aspects. Here is an expert who can talk about accreditation. Thank you very much.
I think that kind of expertise exists in the issue, but that doesn't get demonstrated in the eyes of policy formulators. I had the opportunity of attending few meetings with Professor Kulkarni in ministry, and he was a kind of person who had the guts of telling the secretary, because during that when we were evolving 4th Pay Commission report, he told secretary, what do you know of technical education? Better leave these things to us, right? People, your support system, they are nothing but dignified clerks and they don't know anything of technical education. So these things, so far as planning of technical education is concerned, that needs to be left to institute like Nitttr. आज के माहौल में मेरे ख्याल में सिस्टम इज नॉट कंड्यूसिव, और अगर ऐसा कुछ बोलेंगे तो वी विल एंटर टू नाइट सेक्रेटरी एंड देन lose whatever grant we get.
Think, Professor Sani, if we go there, talk to them, maybe convince them that this is the way, how change in the education, how transformation in the education has been, we have been doing it.
So for that, demonstrate the competence rather than talk to them. We need to have research reports. Here we have a scientific basis to tell them this is what proves.
I agree with you.
That is what.
You want to have that empirical evidence.
Yes.
वो अगर है तो आगे.
आगे आसान है.
If you can train some institute, then of course we can show this is the thing which we have done.
We have 4 institutions, still people with a lot of experience are still there. It is possible that in each region we try to select the key people who can transmit the knowledge which they have gathered for so many years to the various institutions, engineering college, polytechnic and universities.
Thank you so much. Anyone else who would like to speak from here, or I call upon our alumni who are joined with us through the online mode. If anyone would like to speak, please raise your hand.
One suggestion which I want to, as Professor Pavla and Professor Sani has iterated that what to teach and how to teach. One point must be added, that who will teach. So when I joined this institute, because I was from mathematics background and I was thinking that this institute is working in the area of score. So what I have seen that person who is not from the core area is teaching to the mathematics subject. So anyway, and he was also a part of paper setting and evaluation. That was quite surprising to me. Anyway, somehow after that, when I saw that one particular person who is not from the mathematics background, they are teaching the mathematics subject.
Evaluating also.
State. So anyway, I asked them that what you are teaching. you are not from that subject. He said you ask to the director. So, because director is assigned to be this people. So I think this type of means task, it is just like a murder of academic errors, you can say. So that type of activities we should avoid. The concerned person who has a basic degree in that subject, or he has some experience in that only he should be given. If you are giving these randomly or who are in your good book, then it will be only to the disaster to the teaching system. So that point should also be kept in mind.
Thank you. Any our participants from the alumni who have joined online, any suggestions from yours? And please, any comments? You can raise your hand so that we can unmute. Yes, please. Anyone? Yes. Yes, we will. हाँ जी. आपकी volume is little less and some disturbances.
विपिन सर, आपका हेडफोन होगा तो आप थोड़ा प्लीज थोड़ा मुंह से थोड़ा दूर रखिए, डिस्टर्बेंस आ रही है वो एक बार बोलिए विपिन सर आप.
Is it fine now?
Yes, it's better. Yes, please.
I was listening to honorable professors. Nitttr Chandigarh as a pool of a lot of intellectuals. So although there are some problems, but I am sure that people will be able to clarify those. But I would like to share my experience and how Nitttr has impacted me. So when I came here, I was very delighted that I am pursuing masters now, and I will be very proudly. I can say that my faculties like Lini ma'am, Sini ma'am, Litula ma'am, Puruswara ma'am, and their kind words and guidance. It was among my memorable days. Through your guidance, I learned a lot, and am now able to spread this to my students as well. The teaching and learning methodology, especially adding the real-time examples that I have learned from you, were fantastic. And now I am teaching to GATE aspirants to IMS GATE Academy. I can see that I am making wonders there. So there I almost taught all rounds of colleges of India like Ahmedabad, Calcutta, Pune, Bangalore. And today I feel that I am creating an impact in my teaching, and that happens just because of the experience that I have obtained through Nitttr. So an institute is very mean to enlighten their students, and I can very proudly say that the Nitttr has embarked their presence in really doing so. So I am very thankful to you all. So the teaching and learning methodology that you people have was just fantastic. It is going to train the teachers, and I am very sure that people are really doing fantastic in that. Although there are some problems, but I am sure that the intellectuals that the Nitttr have, they will be really able to solve those. Thank you once again, Nitttr.
Thank you so much, Vipin. Thanks for your kind comments, and we hope that you will continue your journey with joining with us, and you will continue in our Nitttr also in one way, maybe through your expertise in the future. Anyone else? Anyone else who would like to speak? Kumar Manoj, I can see your hand raised. You would like to say something? Anyone else?
Madam, I want to add on one thing over here.
Haji, please.
Like connectivity, that is very important in the alumni. So that is missing over here in the alumni meet. So I have attended previous 1 and 2 alumni meet also. So how we can make that strong? That is very important, because a lot of alumni having their different area expertise, they want to connect, they want to contribute, and they want to collaborate also with the institution. So that can be get enhanced. Now we are living in the era of technology, like any kind of WhatsApp group or something can be formed over there. More and more alumni can get connected. Because over here I'm just looking and I'm able to see only 3 to 4 alumni are available in this alumnus meet. that can be bigger number also. So that connectivity can be get enhanced. So over there, lot of work has to be done. So that is my one part, and then after that, we can look over there that how we can collaborate and how we can contribute over there. So something like WhatsApp group or some community can be formed. With the help of that, all the alumni can get joined together, can find out some areas over there they want to contribute, and that can be in the interest of the institute. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we are happy that you have raised this point. Even we also want that our alumni should join us physically here. And so I have sent a lot of emails to around more than 560 of our alumni. But I don't know, maybe because of the previous engagements, they have not been able to join us today. But I request you again, and I will also like to share with you, most of you have already, you see there is one form, Google form is there in our institute website, wherever some of the alumni who have told me that they have not been connected, their email is not with us. So I request you, please visit our website, you disseminate this information to your friends also who have been studying with you, that in our institute website there is a menu in which there is a alumni menu is there, where you can join, you can fill in the Google form, simple Google form, so that we can have your contact, your email ID and your contact number is with us, so that we can always be in touch continuously with you. So I hope that as one of our alumni has said, and you can come here personally also in the next alumni meet, so that we can have more number of activities which can be planned in this particular event. Previously, we were having a lot of activities. It was from the morning till evening. But due to the COVID tenure, this has been diluted. The event has been diluted over the time for the past 3 years, and most of the time we are conducted in the online mode. Otherwise, in the morning we had this meeting interaction session. Then after lunch we had lunch together. Then we had games. In the quiz there was there, and also the games were there in our playground, and it was a lot of fun. So we hope that in our next meeting you all, most of you will be able to come here, and we will be able to interact with you, and we will. This will also contribute towards closer networking with all of you.
I think what he means, using the digital technology, you can have certain platform. Okay. For example, Facebook, LinkedIn is there. So that kind of interactive platform can be generated in-house platform where each alumnus can get connected with each other. Their brief profile is available online. Privacy is also respected, and those kind of things. Those features can be added, and it's very easy to get connected people through that particular platform, which is available on our website.
Just to add to what Dr. Savi is saying, nowadays, if I'm wrong, please correct me. In Roorkee also, IIT Roorkee, Punjab Engineering College also, they have given more strength to the alumni. Yes. They have said that alumni will organize everything, faculty and other people will help them. So what I would suggest to you, that we may think of, that we may form a nucleus group at Chandigarh, who can think of what activities has to be planned under the alumni affairs, and they can contact with everybody, and they plan this activity rather than institution thinking about organizing.
इस तरह ही देखिए आज 8-10 लोग तो हैं ना यहाँ में जो I think so each one of you need to take the responsibility of mobilizing at least 5 persons. और अगर 8 लेकर आ जाएंगे तो 40 तो हो जाएंगे ना अगले साल. 3 कर लो. Let there be a humble beginning. 1 plus 3. Okay.
I have some another suggestion. So generally what we declare for this alumni meet, sir, 15 days before or 20 days before. So that's why the other persons who are staying in different parts of the country, they don't get the option only that they will come here in person. So what you can do, that at the starting year, for example from April onwards, we will go for the next academic session. Why not to decide the alumni meet that should be handled, for example, say 12th December, or for example example, say 15th January 2024, so that the other alumni everywhere they will be deciding that okay, we have to go there in person, and after that you can communicate with them that whoever will be coming. Maximum problem is here because of your time gap, because whoever is sitting in Bombay or some other places, they do not just decide that okay, after 10 days only we will go in person. So that will be another problem.
The vacations, because many of
Yeah,
them
during
are working,
vacation
they
period
have
you
to
can
take a
do.
holiday.
Yeah.
So they can come in vacation and
End
come
of
in
December, for
reunion
example,
also.
you can keep it in end of December. That is 25th December to 5th January. Between this time you can fix up. I suppose that way you can get maximum number of participants.
Ma'am, I have one more to add to this. That because we know our alumni, especially from modular, they are spread over across the country, and sometimes they do not get, and they are already at good positions and working, so they do not get time and vacation. We can form some chapters also. Like we know that in Rajasthan we have so many of our alumni, as I can see. So we can have an alumni chapter in Rajasthan, so that if we are not able to make them come to Chandigarh, we can have a small alumni and get their inputs state specific. That will give us that research data also, and that will also help us to get the alumni inputs which will be regional specific.
Actually, we don't have so many participants, so many students, because we
many
have always
students like 2006 से अभी तक कितने students हैं?
4000 स्टूडेंट्स होंगे।
उसका database updated नहीं है।
Database updated नहीं है।
उसका सर उसका database updated नहीं
चंडीगढ़ में
है।
है 15-20 लोग कम से कम कंप्यूटर साइंस का ही कोई भी नहीं ज्वाइन किया आज चंडीगढ़ में ना सीसीटी का प्रिंसिपल है यूआईटी का डायरेक्टर है कंप्यूटर सेंटर का हेड है
डायरेक्टर नहीं है
पहले वाला सविता गुप्ता पहले
सुखविंदर
है
थोड़ा सा मोबाइल
साइंटिस्ट है जैसे कोई रीच आउट करने के लिए करना पड़ेगा
थोड़ा मोबाइल
पहले अनाउंस कर देना चाहिए
पहले announce कर
कमेटी के लिए ना काफी सब आ जाएंगे
And should be on a non-working.
नॉन वर्किंग डे
पे ओनली sometimes we have our institute here है और कोई स्पेशल एक्टिविटीज है they should be invited in that also
We invite them, sir. I always send them invitation for our annual day. It is being sent to them.
we have to make it more stronger आप कर रहे हो ऑलरेडी अच्छा
Database is very important.
Yeah, database. Very
database updated. मुझे मेरे 5-6 बैचमेट्स का फोन आया कि उनको नहीं मिला। मैं उनको कॉल कर रही थी कि आप आ जाओ ऑनलाइन, बोले नहीं बिकॉज वो ईमेल आईडी
academic cell should have the entire data actually they should pass it down to the alumni email IDs phone numbers and everything so that what
पुराने डेटा है ना
पुराना डेटा क्योंकि तब हॉटमेल
academic cell has
हम लोग जब पहले तब हॉटमेल चलता था, कोई यूज नहीं करता है हॉटमेल।
And also some alumni can also get engaged so that because they are having their batchmate WhatsApp group and all
वो भी
that,
change हो जाता
so
है।
they are updated with the each
ईमेल आईडी चेंज हो जाता है, डाटा कलेक्शन के पास जो ईमेल आईडी है, फोन नंबर है, हो सकता है कि वो नहीं है, चल रही है।
And we have sir Facebook page also, है ना, Dr. Mala, another social, or we have some other Twitter and Facebook is there, and we have communicated this information through that. But maybe we need to strengthen it further. Very rightly said. Anyone else who would like to say from the from our alumni who have joined us, and you can raise the hands. So I think now I can conclude this session. So thanks to all for conveying your constructive and useful suggestions with respect to future preparation of future roadmap for coming 5 years for our institute. And I'm thankful to all for sparing your time and sharing your valuable views and opinions in this regard. I would just like to highlight the important points which have been discussed in this direction. One point which came up was creating a research hub at our institute to guide and support the researchers and students with close collaboration with industries and other eminent research and development institutions. Another thing is that we need to strengthen the linkages with our alumni, so especially to promote the industry institute linkages. And our alumni can become a member in board of studies as one of this thing, and they can also contribute towards engaging the expert sessions. in our ME also and in our courses also. Then there is with changing scenario of education, technical education, we need to restructure the department, do some reorganization at our institute to promote interdisciplinary projects and activities. Another suggestion came that we need to highlight the visibility of our institute's core competency, and we need to strengthen it further. And we need to contribute in evolving policies at national level which are related to training of technical teachers and other related policies in the area of technical education. And there is need to collaborate with IITs, IIMs for jointly offering the training programs and also furthering our training programs in other countries also. Then there is need to work in collaboration of 4 Nitttrs, and we need to establish the research for policy, this education, technical education policy research cell need to be made, so that we can you see through empirical evidence we can take up the studies, and then it can be put forth in front of our ministry at the national level. There is a need to take up the impact studies in various areas like effectiveness of teaching mode, whether it is online, offline, through MOOCs, etc., and impact of NBA, NAC, and policy research on technical education, and the effectiveness of teaching with government versus private technical institutions, and curriculum development, and so on. And also we need to strengthen our community phase of our institute, strong contribution towards the community development. Then we can assist the technical institutes for accreditation. We need to support the teachers in the training policies which has been formulated by MOE for online learning, for modules, and conduct the program to orient the teachers about the content of modules, and we need to take up the induction training program in the contact mode only. Then we need to take up the courses of through short-term courses as well as ME can be taken up in the blended mode in the emerging areas. Then there is a need for orientation of mentors through mentor training orientation training programs which can be conducted and facilitated by Nitttrs. We need to adopt 1 to 2 technical educational institutes for the improvement in their technical education system, and to set us as an example for further disseminating this improvement in the education system. Then there is need to integrate what that is content and how that is pedagogy techniques in the teaching processes, and since now the teaching learning systems have been evolved over the time, and we need to improve the quality of technical education, promote NBA and NAC accreditation, and how to assist in this to the technical institution. We can take up such activities. And also with regard to the aspects of new education, our national education policy 2020. We need to build up the system which are interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary and innovation and research based, and we need that each and every faculty of our Nitttrs be actively involved in pedagogy and educational technology also. And of course we need to strengthen further the networking among our alumni and us, and do further work for the creation of digital platform for strengthening our alumni, and maybe the chapters can be also formed in this particular direction. So thank you so much. This was some of the valuable suggestions which came from all, and we are grateful to you for being with us today. Thank you so much. And now I request my colleague Dr. Mala.
Body Director Professor B.R. Gurjar, esteemed invitees Professor Y.K. Anand, Professor Paramjeet Tulsi, Professor J.S. Saini, Deans, HODs, faculty members, and our distinguished alumni, very good afternoon. It is my esteemed honor to propose the vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of those who worked hard to make this event happen. Firstly, I give my sincere thanks to our commendable director, Professor B.R. Gurjar, for his gracious presence and constant encouragement that awakened the passion within us to successfully conduct this event. I'm thankful to Professor Y.K. Anand, Professor J.S. Saini, Professor Tulsi and Professor Pavla for sharing their words of wisdom with us and their experience. I extend my generous thanks to our alumni who have joined in this event and shared their valuable opinions with us. I would also like to thank the departments who worked behind the scene to make this event happen, that is Estate Office, Media Engineering Department and Professor in charge Blessed Canteen. I am immensely thankful to deans, HODs and faculty members who have come to be a part of this auspicious moment. Special thanks to Professor Poonam Sayal, Chairperson Alumni Activities, for coordinating the entire event seamlessly and providing guidance to the team members at every point of time. I also thank Dr. Ritula Thakur for gracefully conducting the stage and Amandeep ma'am for detailed reporting of this event. And finally, my sincere gratitude goes to all the team members looking after alumni activities who have tirelessly worked for the success of this program. Once again, thank you all.